Right.
They were 2013 intro.
They were 2013 intro. Hey guys, I'm Anthony Mackem. This is the Mackem Football Show. I can't keep that up. Like and subscribe for more. I'll stop that now. Welcome to the return of the Mackem Football Show. Today we have, as you can see, the profile icons if you're watching on YouTube, Paul. Oh, Brad's just joined as well. Paul, Brad, both from RWA.
Right.
All right, and Jacob's here too. Wow,
Yo.
the timing on that was impeccable, Brad. Well done. Oh, so I was outside the Stadium of Light. Was it last week or the week before now? I think it was the week before. And yeah, we'd just come off the back of a 1-1 draw against Luton Town. So I will start the show talking about that game. Then we'll talk about the Burnley game, and then we will flow into what's up and coming for the rest of the season. So, how good is your memory? How good is your memory for that Luton game, boys? Can you remember who scored, how we scored it?
Amad Diallo got a penalty, scored for us.
The gift of a goal, yeah.
Yeah.
So, is Luton Town... Is that point a good point or a bad point?
I'd say it's a good point because of where Luton are at the minute. They've been doing well, and we've not expected Luton to be where they are this season. I thought they'd be around where we are, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd say a bit like the Burnley point. Really, I'd say it's a good point.
I'd say it's a really good point, and the main reason I'm saying it's a really good point is because they've beat everybody else they've come up against in the recent weeks. The last time they drew was in February, and that was 2-2 against Millwall. Yeah, they're a hard team to get points against, and the fact that we're picking up points against Luton, even though it was an absolute gift, the referee, thank you very much for that, by the way. Mackem's jubilating, happy celebrations for that penalty. It's the first one this entire season that I think the referees got wrong, but it's went our way.
That was actually the AFL, that was the League One referee as well.
Oh, it's too. You just can't write it sometimes. We've been complaining pretty much every single week in, week out, how poor referees' decisions are and how much they're costing and impacting games. And it feels weird when you're on the receiving end of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, actually.
I just I don't know why. I just remembered the second goal for Sheffield United. That was offside, right? Did we talk about that last week?
It was off by, I think it was Tommy Doyle, and obviously Sander Burge was offside.
Yeah, there was two Sheffield players offside who went to play the ball, and the keeper was going to react to one of those touching the ball, which would have meant they were both offside. But none of them touch it, and it goes into the back of the net. Do you think if that was a VAR review, it would have stood because they didn't touch the ball?
100% no, it wouldn't have.
That depends who the third official, the VAR official is, to me. To be honest.
Well,
it's interesting, though, Hans, because after the game, the actual referee actually said that wasn't even a goal for them, and I know we hate him, but a referee
admitting a mistake.
Yeah, and even another referee actually phoned up Tony Mowbray the following day and actually apologised for that goal.
Do you think that's why we got the penalty decision? Do you think that had a factor into it? Maybe.
Could have been.
Could have been. Sorry, my dog has just farted and it's awful.
Oh my gosh.
She sat right underneath me as well, so it's wafted straight up. It's disgusting.
Silent but deadly. Open a window, Amph. Your eyes are stinging.
They actually are. It's that bad. Anyways, that aside, the 1-1 draw. Do you think Luton were the better team in this one? Paul?
Maybe slightly in the first half, but I think we were a bit better in the second. I think it were.
See, if you're looking at purely the stats for that game, right? We were more dominant than they were. Obviously, being the home team does help, but I don't know. I kind of felt like their chances were more what's it called? More thoughtful and more purposeful. Clinical is a good term. Clinical is a good term. Brad, what do you think, mate?
For the 1-1 draw against Luton, was that? Did you say? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought we played quite well second half. What Yorkshire said. In the first half we couldn't get going, but when we come out in the second half, thought we played quite well. To be honest, Lyndon Gooch came on. I think it was I can't remember. Was it the 75th minute, Paul, when we were talking on our podcast?
Yeah, I think it was Brad.
Yeah, so he made the quadruple substitution, didn't he? Pritchard, Ekwar, Bennett, and Gooch came on.
Yes, he made the 4 subs, yeah. And I thought the subs actually worked for that game. Definitely. Because
they absolutely did, mate, yeah. Because we were 1-0 behind from that dirty effort at that stage, and we needed to change it up, otherwise it would have fizzled out, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. do you want to finish your point?
It's just odd because all the time we've played Luton as well, it's always been 1-1.
Yeah, it's just when we played them in League One in our first season, 18-19, we drew both home and away. And this season we both drew home and away. It's just
a
bit weird. Overall in general, we should be beating Luton, but football is just one of them things, isn't it?
Well, you say that, but our last 4 games against them, yes, have been 1-1 draws. But the last time we played them around the table as well, though. So if Luton pick up a draw, that means we are closer to them for that playoff spot. But they'd be 1 point higher up. They'd be on 68 now, and we'd be 1 point higher up on 55, which doesn't really do much if it's that win-loss mentality. I don't know. It just feels a bit balanced at the minute against us and them, and I kind of see that as a positive considering how high up the table they are. Agree? Disagree?
Yeah.
So we have had a couple of rough fixtures over the last couple of weeks, right? What was it? Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton. Who else has been up in the top half of the table that we've been?
Norwich.
Oh yeah, Norwich. Were you surprised by that Norwich win?
I was.
Yes, 100%. I was very surprised, to be honest.
It just felt like a little bit out of the blue. Nobody really had that pegged down, right? Well, saying that, I don't think many people had Sunderland picking up a point against Burnley as well, except for Jacob. I know you did. You said a 1-1 draw.
No, I think I said 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you saying about there being goals apiece. So yeah, that nicely moves us on to the Burnley game itself. 0-0 was a fair result. Do you think?
To be honest, I would have took that way before kick-off, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying like what would you have accepted before the game, because I think anything against the team that's at top of the league is a gift. But throughout the game, we had some chances that we actually put the ball in the back of the net, and it was disallowed, obviously offside. But
we were the better team, to be honest, in that game against Burnley.
I totally agree. I actually agree on that one as well. We were the better side.
I think the we were unlucky not to take away all 3 points. I think it would have been a snatch and grab because what was it? The crossbar, the post. I can't remember. But Diallo hits the post, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the post because it came through Pritchard and Roberts and he flicked it through to Diallo and he hit the crossbar.
So it's those kind of moments where I think that will be the difference between this season and next and our chances of finishing higher in the league table. A dedicated striker who can put the ball in the back of the net and bury those chances or get multiple chances in a game. Against a side like Burnley, though, I do think it would have been an absolute gift horse if we took away 3 points from that. But
you know what that game actually reminded me of, Lawrence? We actually played them, I think it was in the Carabao Cup. We were in the Premier League. We were the only team to actually score against them.
Really?
Do you not remember in the Cup?
What was the score? Score?
We had Jack Ross was with us.
Oh no, mate! I've put Jack Rossi out of my mind completely.
I think I know what you're on about, Paul.
Dobson,
I think it was
Dobson, Greg. I'm trying to think of us. Dobson, Greg, Flanagan.
Was Joe Lynch in that team? Joe Lynch.
Yeah, I think he was.
What was this? The Cup?
Yeah.
The Cup.
Yeah, I think it was actually Phil
Parkinson. It was the Cup.
Phil Parkinson was manager. And we beat him at their ground. Were it 3-1 or 2-1?
Yeah,
3-1.
3-1. I've got the goals up here. Rodriguez for them in the 11th minute. Will Grigg, probably his only goal for Sunderland. Like I said, I've put that era out of my head now. Flanagan and Dobson, and those two Sunderland goals just after half time.
Dobson, Jesus Christ.
Charlie Wyke and Max Power in Sunderland colours at that stage.
Yeah, they were.
George Dobson, though, guys. George fucking Dobson. He was shit.
Well, he scored against Burnley, apparently, so it can't be that bad. He's still playing, by the way. He's 25 and he's at Charlton now.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know. He's doing all right. He's not bagging the goals, though, but...
I mean, there was worse players than him. Like, I think Conor McLaughlin, he wasn't that great, was he?
I think
he were a right back. He were a right back.
That's when we had two of them, didn't we? We had the keeper as well. Both McLaughlin.
Two McLaughlins, yeah. John.
Yeah. It's weird that. A good evening, Acacia. Welcome. Evening, Paul.
Hello, Acacia.
The match I went to on Friday at Burnley was fantastic. So I was getting drunk when that game was happening. And yeah, by about the 75th minute, I was just very loud at the referee, shall we say. So I'm kind of glad that it was a 0-0 and other Sunderland YouTubers covered it. Who covered the game from a Sunderland fan point of view on YouTube? Who did the watch-alongs? I know Jake.
I watched Terry's, actually.
It was only Terry, I think.
Just the mad mistakes on there. So we'll hopefully rectify that this weekend on Friday. With it's a 5:30 kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's against Hull. That's a Friday as well, eh?
On Sky.
Yeah. Why does it have to be on Sky? Right. So Hull's picked up 3 points from the last 4 games, 3 of them being draws. A 0-0 against Rotherham, a 1-1 against Reading. They lost 3-1 to Burnley and a 1-1 against Cov. Are you concerned about them?
Not really, but still won't underestimate them.
Yeah. Acacia's
we could just bottle it, can't we?
Oh yeah, we can bottle any game. That's the Sunderland way. Anything on paper where we should win, we'll end up losing, and anything we shouldn't get anything from, we end up doing it. Case in point, Burnley, Luton, Norwich. Acacia's quickly asked, "How's my crazy best mate?" I'm not sure who that's pointed to.
Yeah, I'm alright, Acacia. Yourself?
There we go. Good. So yeah, we'll wrap up against Burnley, then we'll look at the prediction for Hull, and we'll go back and forth. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. It has been a couple of weeks since I've done one of these. So 0-0 Burnley. Can you pick out your man of the match? We'll go from right to left. So Jacob, Brad, then Paul. Who's your man of the match for the Burnley game?
I'm going to go with maybe Anthony Patterson.
The keeper. I don't think was he called into action that much?
No.
I think he made a few good saves, but
You think?
no.
Are you giving it to Patterson? What's the reason you're giving it to Patterson, mate? Obviously, a clean sheet against that kind of team is great, but I can't remember him making like more than 2 saves.
I don't know. He sort of still kept it in the game. He didn't flunk up at any point, but yeah, he wasn't really didn't really do much, but not in a bad way, not doing much. So, but
okay, he is one of the highest rated players for our team. The third highest rated on stats, so distribution, saves, all of that. So that's good. Brad, who are you saying was your man of the match?
For me, on Friday night, I would give it to Lyndon Gooch.
You've gone a bit quiet there, mate. You moved away from your mic.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, much better, yeah.
No worries. On Friday night, I would have given it to Lyndon Gooch on Friday. I thought he put in an excellent performance on Friday.
Hey, you stole my thunder. I thought none of you would have said him. He's a bit of a dark horse in that game, right? He was. You can see why we signed him when we were in the Premier League, right? It did look ready for it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a really good shout, Brad. Paul, who are you saying?
I'm going to say something completely different to you, so I'm going to say Danny Bath.
Okay, he literally had the worst rating for Sunderland, by the way, the worst. He had a 6.4 rating on that game.
What?
No, actually, he had the second worst. Bar, who came on as a sub, had a 5.9. But yeah, what makes you say Bath?
For me, I just think if Burnley actually if Burnley actually took their chances, because they did have a couple of chances, but if they took them,
yeah,
I actually think Danny Bath actually would have probably kept them out.
Okay, I like that. So I was going to say Gooch, but I want to be different, just for devil's advocate rules here, really. And I want to throw Dan Neil's name into the mix. Dan Neil, for me, in that game, just commanded it. He's a very hit and miss player, right? So he either plays games like that against Burnley where he's on fire, he does everything right, or he gives the ball away and we concede 4 or 5 goals, i.e. Stoke. So I think he's redeemed himself in that match, picked up as a point from that previous rough couple of weeks. So I understand why Tony Mowbray put him in the squad as well. If he's performing like he did against Burnley in the training pitch, it makes complete sense to keep it going. Here's another question, and it's a little bit loaded, so bear that in mind. Gelhardt. Immediate reactions, immediate thoughts. Go! Paul, you first. Putting you on the spot there.
You are.
Do you want me to go first and then you can compose?
Yeah, you go first, because I don't know what to say.
So, Gelhardt, for me, has the potential to come into his own at our club. I think the loan spell is a little too short. If the option was to continue his loan into next season, I would take it. If it's we could only have him if we purchase him from Leeds, I'd send him back. I think he's gaining confidence, which with every game he's playing. He just needs to be fed the ball and to stay in the attacking positions. His weakness for me is he drops back too much, and when he eventually does get into the box with the ball, he's absolutely knocking because he's covering back too often. So I think how do I put it? He's his own worst enemy at the minute. He just needs to stay forward, play as a striker, play like Stewart or Sims would be, hovering around the 18-yard box. Hover offside a couple of times, I don't care as long as you're in that area. When I'm seeing him in areas that Pritchard or Ekwa should be in, that for me is where he needs to just level up his mental game, because physically I think he's got the skill. It's just that extra thing. So that's my initial thoughts on Gelhardt. Paul.
To be honest with you, I actually feel sorry for Gelhardt.
Okay.
Because Gelhardt actually was well, actually, he came in to actually play up against Ross Stewart.
Yeah, as a second partner to him, like a Quinn and Phillips kind of situation.
Yeah, so basically that's why I feel sorry for him. You know, Gelhardt actually wasn't. He wasn't brought in really to play up front by himself.
Okay, so I'm going to use a weird analogy, but it's like throwing the kid into the deep end of the swimming pool and he's just about surviving and paddling away. It's a strange analogy, but he's doing the job, but he's not doing it effectively. He's not like doing lengths and analogy over. Brad, what's your thoughts on Gelhardt, mate?
For me, I thought he came in because we were talking about it on our podcast last night, weren't we, Paul Gelhardt? And quite a few people were saying it was a panic loan, and I actually have to agree, to be honest.
Okay. So
because
go on.
Oh, go on. What were you going to say?
So I'm just panic loans. I think we were desperate for strikers in anyways, and there was rumours around looking at 4 or 5. What makes him a panic loan?
Because in 35 appearances, I think, for Leeds, I think he only scored 2 goals from them. There was better strikers out there to come in. To be honest, we should have brought a better striker in. I'm sorry for saying this, but I don't think Gelhardt's a bad player. Don't get me wrong, he's not a bad player whatsoever. But there's better out there.
I agree. There's absolutely better strikers out there. However, have we got the pulling power? And I think we're very tight on our purse strings at the minute, and we need players who fit in with the project and the development of players and becoming that academy, that first team academy for the Premier League, I guess. It makes sense.
Yeah,
so
I get what you mean. Yeah.
So Gelhardt, being a Leeds player who's not getting game time in the Prem, wants to prove himself at the next level. That's pretty much direct, and get game time. We were guaranteeing that with him. Can you think of any other player that is in that same situation, that is at an academy like Leeds, Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever, that would come to Sunderland? I can't think of anybody on the top of my head. Obviously, there's better strikers out there that are in the market, but they're expensive. Right? Do you disagree, or?
I agree.
I actually agree on that, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, it's just putting that. What you've got to, I think you've got to literally put yourself in Speakman's shoes sometimes and just go. I'm going to use another weird analogy here. It's like running in the chippy, asking for fish and chips, and they go, "We haven't got any fish." "Oh, can I have sausage and chips?" "Oh, we haven't got any sausage." "What have you got then?" We've got we've got fish cakes. All right, that'll do. We've got 2 hours and we've got to feed the kids. Give me the fish cakes. That's what Gellhard is. He's the fish cakes. He's the third choice. He's the last option, but he's still something. What a weird analogy, but that's what pops to my head. But Jacob, what's your say on Gellhard?
I feel sorry for him because seeing an odd few videos when we bought him, I saw videos of him and him scoring goals at Leeds, and he did seem like a good player. And I remember a few months ago when we were watching one of the games, I think it was the Rotherham game actually, Rotherham away. I think DJ said, "How long will you give him? Like until which month? Until we say he's not good enough." I think something like that DJ said, and I think you said April, and I think I said around the same time, and still not, scored a lot.
He scored one goal for us, right? That's it.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's another Will Grigg, really, and it's disappointing to say that because we all thought he might be the wonders.
Well, to be fair, mate, he's more like a Defoe too. Defoe's return rather than his initial Defoe era.
Yeah,
but I do think he has got a lot of promise and a lot of potential. It's just, is it right now? Yeah, there's a lot of options we can look at recruitment wise, but that's what we've got to do at the end of the season in 7 games time. We just have to put up with it for the the next 7 games and then see what happens in the summer. I'm going to quickly call out the last 3 comments, which I may have missed or are not related to what we've talked about. So pick up on them now. Acacia says she's really nervous for the game against Hull on Friday. What is your prediction for that? And I've got yours, Jacob, and yours, Brad. You're saying a 2-1 win against Hull and a 3-1 win against Hull. Paul, what are you saying? And then I'll let the lads explain why they think that.
Well, we're at home.
Right, we're at home. We're on telly again. I think that's the 14th time this season.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to go 2-1 Sunderland.
I find that really interesting. I'll explain why in a sec. What makes you think 2-1?
I just think, the players playing like they did on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And fair enough, the players saw the fans today at the Stadium of Light. I just think the players will want to, try and win a game at home. Really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I think we need to be beating Hull. Quick little update, by the way. Obviously, there's a Premier League game happening. Everton are now losing 1-0 to Tottenham and are down a man. Dakura has been sent off and Harry Kane has scored a penalty, which is a 10-minute gap between that red card and the penalty. So I don't know if the person's down injured for that long or if it's a separate incident. But yeah, down to 10 men, penalty conceded. Everton's hopes of staying in the Prem are dwindling by the game. Sorry. Why do you say 3-1?
Again, what Paul said, we're at home. And obviously we need to be on the front foot when we're at home. Because obviously the last couple of games at home we haven't been on the front foot in the first half. And we need to try and get on the front foot. I don't know if you totally agree, obviously.
No, I absolutely agree that we need to be on the front foot from minute 1. That our problem is we don't really turn up for like up until we're either a goal behind and halfway into the second half. It seems to be when the substitutions happen that our game changes.
Yeah, and also the reason why I said 3-1 against Hull for because the last 5 times we've played Hull, we've drew 1-1 on the 17th of December.
Okay.
Then in the Club Friendly 2021, we won them 2-1 at home. Then we drew them 2-2. Then after that, we won them 2-1. And then in the AFL Cup, we drew 0-0 and lost 5-4 on penalties. Then we won 3-1 the time before that. So, possibly, following the pattern,
Yeah.
I think we'll win.
They've had a very similar journey over the last couple of years as us. But
I have.
they came up last year rather than this season, and they survived. I guess that's their saving grace for their first season back in the Championship. But I didn't know. Did they come up with us? No, that was Wigan and Rotherham. So yeah. Sorry, they came up the season before, didn't they?
Yeah.
They came up with what do you call them? Oh,
Peterborough.
Yeah, Peterborough. And another one. Trying to think who else came up with them. Blackpool. Yes.
Blackpool as well.
Yeah, they came up with them. Yeah, 100%.
Because that was the season we lost to Lincoln in the semi-playoff. The semi-finals where we lost to Lincoln.
Was it under Lee Johnson? I think.
Yeah.
Auto.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And finally, Jacob, mate, what's making you say 2-1?
Originally, I was going for a 3-0 victory, but then I think 2-1. I don't think it's as easy as you think, Hull City. So
no,
and they're an all right team, but yeah, I don't think it'd be like a comfortable win. I'm going for a 2-1 win.
So
yeah, I don't think we'll run through.
I'm going to be a little bit more cocky than all of you, and I reckon we're going to keep a clean sheet. Now, my issue is, are we going to score or not? I think we might score a couple of goals from the midfield, or if we all of a sudden change our play style and feed feed Gelhardt with the service he needs. But the only reason they scored against us last time was while I was on the way back from Australia. Embleton got a red card, and we still looked better than them when we were down to 10 men. We scored a couple of minutes even after going down to 10 men. They just got that 2-fan goal, didn't they? So
wasn't that? Oh, sorry.
No. I'm just trying to wrap up the point around like Hull and have had a very turbulent season, and I think they've pretty much settled in to finishing in the bottom half. I think they're safe. They're well clear of the relegation zone, so they've got nothing really to fight for other than pride. We have a very, very, very slim chance of climbing to the playoffs. So I think we've got that little bit of edge to us, especially being at home. So I want to say a 2-0 home win. And Brad, now you can finish your point. Sorry.
Wasn't that when Embleton got a red card? Didn't he get stretchered off?
Yeah.
That game?
Yeah, he got sent off while he was on the stretcher because the referee were a pillar.
The thing, no, he absolutely was. Jacob's right there. I think we would have appealed it, which is a costly process, by the way. I think it costs like £500 to appeal a red card, but he's injured, so they just left it. I don't think it was a red card. Yeah. I think Hull have got to be very fortunate with the match officials. And the fact that the game's on Sky, I don't think the match officials are just going to be throwing around stupid card decisions that should be... I think they'll be more reserved on giving yellows or reds or anything like that, unless it's absolutely blatant. I think it's going to be a card-free, a relatively card-free experience. So...
You won't like who the ref is on Friday. I've just seen who it is.
Darren Bond.
It's Keith Stroud.
Which one? Which ref is that?
Keith Stroud. It's Keith Stroud is Keith Stroud, mate.
We've actually had a bad record under Keith Stroud, unfortunately.
Is that the referee against Stoke?
No, it was Darren Bond.
Oh, who was the is it? No, he's the ref at the Coventry game, isn't he? Coventry away.
I'm just trying to find
Stroud is
Yes, our last game against Keith Stroud was on the 14th of January against Swansea. and we lost 3-1.
Oh yeah,
He was the one that sent Blue Goal 9 off.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was a blatant.
Oh yeah,
red.
and he
That
did-
was
and he didn't
blatant,
do
though,
all-
mate. That was.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, but Swansea players did something to him, didn't they? Didn't one of Swansea players get away with something?
Yeah, yeah, he put,
And
his,
they-
put his hands on his neck. Luke O'Nine's
Oh,
had a
yeah,
Yeah,
but-
that's the ref.
Yeah, but if a Sunderland player did that, oh no, it's a fucking problem. But if another team does it, no, it's fine.
To be fair, everybody he referees, like he generally referees games, and I think the team that likes him the most is Brentford.
Can he go in the Premier League then?
Actually, no, I'm lying there. The team that loves him the most is Bournemouth. They've played 13 games under him and won 12. He does not.
At least somebody likes him.
Bloody hell. At least someone's his best friend.
That's mental, though. That's really bizarre. Yeah, it's an interest. Referee stats are weird to look at because I don't think the referee should have that much of an impact on games, but clearly they do. Did I say what my prediction was? I can't remember.
He said 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I did. That's good. So, yeah, we've done Sunderland quite a bit now. I just want to quickly talk about, because obviously between the last football show and this one, there's been some international games, and I didn't catch either of them live. I know you have, Jacob. How about you and Paul? Brad, Paul, did you catch the England games?
I actually watched them both live, actually.
Good.
Yes, we watched the Ukraine game and the other one against what do you
Italy.
call it?
Italy.
Italy.
Yes.
Italy.
So, we'll talk quickly about the England-Italy game first, because that was on Thursday the 23rd. So I've only really watched the highlights, so I'll let you guys give off what you perceived of the game and Gareth Southgate as the man in charge at England. I'm purposely putting the question that way because Jacob has a strong opinion on that. Don't you, Jacob?
Yeah, and I know everyone will probably disagree with me, but that's fine.
So, go on then. What's your thoughts?
It's just too proactive, and some of his subs, not just this Italy game, like Italy in the Euros when he just brought Saka on to take a penalty, and actually I've heard people weren't happy with his substitution. His subs against France, you know, when we played France, like just
Seems to be a running theme. I'm on holiday pretty much all the time when England are playing.
you're doing the right thing, Am.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't see us winning a trophy under him. It's just not going to happen. I'd like him to prove me wrong, but I just personally don't see us winning the Euros with him.
Okay.
There's way better teams than us.
So on the Italy game itself, though, mate, what were your thoughts around that?
I think the first half we were better then, but the second half we were just fucking dire. We not actually no, not dire. We weren't great, to be fair. And Italy could have easily have got back in the game, got an equaliser.
What you're saying? What you're saying to the Luke Shaw red card?
I think the referee were a bit biased. I think in that game, I think, you know, every time an Italy player went down, he blew his whistle. But when it were England, it didn't. There were times where he did blow his whistle, but not a lot.
So do you think the referee had the Sunderland effect on the England team?
Yes, I think he did actually. I think it happens with England as well.
Cool. Right,
Yeah.
Brad, what's your thoughts, mate?
For me, man, apparently England hasn't beaten Italy away since 1961. So that's
Momentous, yes.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't played them that many times away, so.
Well, no, we haven't, to be honest. But overall, we had 50. They have 57.9% possession. We have 42.1. 10 shots. We had 7 shots. We had 1 shot on target. We had 4 shots. We had 7 corners. 1.
They were all
for
pretty
them,
much in the
3.
first half, though, weren't they? I don't think, like Jacob said, I don't think we did anything in the second half in that game.
No, I think we played well for about 10 minutes in the second half, and after that we just went to, I don't know.
Defend what we've got mode.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah. Paul, what were you saying, mate?
Yeah, I actually say the same as he is, because to be honest, do you actually think England are actually playing like Sunderland does?
No, not at all, mate. That's a.
You know, like Sunderland play a better second half, but like, you know, like, do you actually think England are actually? Yeah.
I can get the similarities between Sunderland and England in that we play good football most of the time, but when it really matters, we crumble.
We're good at bottling things. We're both good at bottling up, aren't we?
And we're very good at blaming the match officials for clear and obvious stupid decisions. Like we're the only team to ever witness that. We're definitely not the only team who gets crap decisions given against us. That's the nature of a people-based sport, right? You can't. We're not robots, so we're not 100% perfect on every decision, and it's up to interpretation. So that's where I think the similarities start and end with Sunderland and England. I think England have, well, it's kind of obvious, they have the much better quality team, much better quality players. I do think they're just more organised and more professional, and beating Italy away from home for me is huge. It's a massive shift away from our historical record, and it's moving towards the future. I'd probably more equate them to Liverpool than a Sunderland, because they can get the finals, they just haven't won it yet. It's close. We're close to something, and I want to slightly disagree with Jacob's opinion on Gareth Southgate. I think managers should be proactive rather than reactive. I think when reactive is required, I think he does definitely need to be more reactive and change his game plan. But I like that he goes into games with game plans, and it clearly works. He's picking up good results. And another really good thing, which I never thought would be broken in my lifetime, is Wayne Rooney's record getting beaten by Harry Kane. And I can see another 3-4 years of Harry Kane being England's named striker. I can't see him dying off, as in, I can't see his quality dipping.
I think he's immortal, is Harry Kane.
How old is he? He's like, is he 29, 28? He's not that old. Most strikers.
Like
Go on, sorry.
Feels like he's been playing for ages.
He has been playing for ages. He has been playing for England since 2015, I think.
He's 29.
Yeah,
29.
He's been playing for England since 2015. Most strikers for England last about 5-6 years, and then they're out. I can't see his end coming. I think he'll retire with the national team. Like his last. I'm not going to put him on par with like Messi or anything like that, or Ronaldo, but I think he will, until he is not physically fit or able to play the game anymore, England will name him as the name striker. We've had donkeys up front for England before. And he's like what's it called? A show horse. He is the beacon of what we want most strikers to be like. So I think congratulations to Harry Kane for getting his goal scoring record for England. 82 games, 55 goals. Yeah, thank you, mate. I also like that he's never really left Tottenham. His entire career, apart from loan spells, has been at Tottenham as well. He's a one club man. I think that's a rare trait in the modern game, and fair play to him. So, yeah, The Ukraine game, I think, was a little bit more the other way. We didn't look like we were going to lose that at any point. Comfortable display. I think we held back on scoring more goals because of the opponent and what they're going through politically. So yeah, I just think it was a confident display, and I'm going to make this very bold, very neck out approach to this. I think England will go throughout this qualifying phase without a defeat. I don't think we'll win all 10 games, or all 8 games. Is it 10? Yeah, 10 games. I don't think we'll lose any of those 10 games. I think we might pick up a draw against Italy or a random shock draw, but I don't think we'll lose any of our qualifying matches. So, yeah, bold claim. We'll pop it back down the line. Do you want to go? I don't ask Brad first most times, so there you go. Brad, do you want to go?
What was the question, sorry?
Ukraine. What was the game like, and what do you think will happen at the end of the qualifying stages?
I didn't watch Ukraine that much, to be honest. Don't think I did. No, I didn't. I was busy. I was at a party that night, but I didn't get to watch it.
Oh, you were raving.
Someone did do a live watch along on my video, though, on my podcast. Someone did a live watch along, one of the guests.
Yeah. So shall I read out the match stats, because I know you like the stats to go by. England shots 18, Ukraine 3. England shots on target 8-0. 58% possession. 592 passes. 9 fouls to their 12. 1 yellow card to Ukraine. 1 offside to their 4. 7 corners. Yeah, I just think that was just a very run-of-the-mill team versus a second one not exerting too much energy. Yeah, so with those stats in mind, I'm presuming you've watched the highlights at least.
Yeah.
Go on, Jacob, go on.
Yeah, but I felt like, do you not think we were more laid back against Ukraine? Though we were like more laid back against Ukraine.
Absolutely. And I've just realised it's 8 games, not 10, because it's we're in a group of 5 teams. So we've got Italy, North Macedonia, Ukraine, and Malta in our league. The only team I can see us dropping points against is Italy. So the top 2 qualify. I think this is pretty much just a, what do you call it? Like training matches. It's just warm-up games, keeping these players fit. I think it's a testing pit, I guess, for Gareth Southgate as well, to try some couple of tactics, but not give too much away about how we want to proceed in the Euros. Yeah. Akasha's back. Golding's here. Hello, how are you?
I was going to say on England, I think some of them are actually still waiting to hear from the FA, because we've actually put a bid in to actually host England at the Stadium of Light.
Again?
Yeah, we were we actually are shortlisted to actually host them.
Oh my god! I don't
the
know
Euros this year.
The
Euros is in Germany, isn't it, this year?
Yeah, it's Germany.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. This is brought back a memory, but I can't remember the year now. So England played Italy. There you go, under-20 international. Italy beat us 5-3 on the day. This is November 2002, so I was 12, and I watched that game with my granddad. This was like 4 months before he died. That's mental. It all comes full circle. So we have a potential another game for the World Cup coming up. So how many times do you think England has played at the Stadium of Light?
I remember watching them play Australia in a friendly. And Rashford scored his debut goal for England, so Rashford scored his very first goal for England at the Stadium Light.
Yeah.
I was actually at the Australian game. That was Bailey Wright's first time at Sunderland.
Was it?
Yeah, he was actually in the Australian squad.
Good eye.
I have no idea, but I thought it was like wouldn't he be like 7 then? No, this was
No.
this was like 8 years ago. It's not that long ago. So there's been England versus Belgium in a friendly in 1999. That was 2-1. The under-20s level was the 3-5 Italy game, which I went to with my granddad. The Euro qualifying was against Turkey. We won that one 2-0. The 2000 under-21s, we won that against Slovakia 2-0. The Australia game, we won that 2-1. And the Austria game for the Women's World Cup, we won that one 1-0. So apart from the 2002 experience, England have a really good record at the Stadium of Light, so I can understand why they'd want to keep it. The case is just give us a couple of updates in the Premier League, which is quite interesting. Everton have scored. It's 1-1. Lucas Moura has been sent off for Tottenham, so they're both down to 10 men. And saying Sunderland 2, Amad Diallo and Paddy Roberts against Hull, and Regan Slater scoring for them. Bailey Wright hasn't even had a game at a time at Rotherham at this season. That's really bizarre. Didn't we send him out on loan to Rotherham to get more game time, and he's just he's not even featured? That's bizarre.
Yeah.
If that's the case, he may as well come back.
But what would we start him?
Well, with the injury of Dan Ballard, I can't see why not.
Do you not think not Bath, Luke O'Nine, who else is playing in defence for us? Gooch, O'Nine.
Well, I was going to say Anderson, but
yeah, no, mate, no.
On that, I kind of get the club's actually going to send him back out on loan now.
Who?
Tony Mowbray is going to send Joe Anderson out on loan.
Wow. Okay. Again, if we're not playing the players, I do understand like getting them out to another club who desperately needs somebody in that position. It makes sense. As long as they're not in our league.
Why can they get low hands? Why did we actually buy him from Everton if we're going to do that?
It's a long-term plan with the player, isn't it? I brought up a really fantastic example of a player who has a parent club and has then since returned and basically enjoyed a really fruitful career. Harry Kane went out on loan 4 seasons on the bounce, but his parent club, when he was ready, started him. If they're not ready, they might be a bit too young, a bit too immature, need a bit more game time, that kind of thing. So,
well, Anderson was down. He travelled to Burnley with Tony Mowbray. He was actually on the bench.
That's really bizarre. That's weird. It is weird. I don't get why we're teasing him to start up and then going leave it be, mate. Off you fuck. It makes very little sense. And there you go. Acacia says the reason why is because Joe Anderson isn't really ready for first team football. He only likes playing his under 21s games, which we did all right today. Did we win that game? You said
we won that game. He actually played as well.
Who did we play? Because I don't really pay attention to the under 20s freeze or anything like that.
Nottingham Forest. We played.
Do you think that's a really good sign? Because I know we've played a lot of Premier League youth teams this season, right? Is it the EPL 2 that we're in this? Is that what it is?
I believe
Premier
so.
League 2.
Sorry?
Premier League 2.
Yeah, Premier League 2. It's the under 23s level, right?
Yeah.
Where are we in that?
I've got no idea, but I have an easy search up. But
I'm trying to find it.
Dennis Serkin featured. Anderson featured. Huggins started, but he came straight off because he's actually picked up a hamstring.
Oh, got you. Yeah, I'm just looking at this table. It's Leeds, Forest, Southampton, Norwich, Newcastle, West Brom, us, Borough, Villa, Stoke, and Derby. So it's teams, north teams, I guess. We are currently sat in 8th, which is pretty poor, really. Newcastle are below us, Stoke are below us, and Derby are below us. The fact that we beat Nottingham Forest, though, that's pretty good.
Beat them 3-1.
It's really good, actually, because they're obviously the Premier League, but they're the Premier League Academy, aren't they, essentially? Because he's always played for under-21s at Everton before we signed him, and he never got a chance at Everton's first team either. So I'm going to go off tangent and go away from Sunderland, go away from England for a minute and talk about Everton, because I think our last 15, 16 months has always had some kind of tie-in with Everton. You've had Nathan Broadhead, you have had Ellis Sims, and now Joe Anderson. Why are we so reliant on Everton? It's a broad question. Feel free to jump in. Any of us. Why do you think we're so reliant on what Everton are doing? Definitely silence. Have any of you picked up on that trend? Again,
Not really.
I think it's actually since we got Stuart Harvey, and Stuart Harvey's actually part of the recruitment team. But do you not think he's got then we don't know, but do you not think Stuart Harvey's got a connection with Everton?
Potentially, mate. That's a good shout. That's a really good shout. But the thing is, Everton have struggled like Sunderland have over the last 2-3 seasons, right? The last season they did a miraculous escape, very very much like we did when we had Conor Wickham early 2010s. And now, why would we look at that struggling team for players and for people who can't even get into that struggling Premier League level when we're looking to build and grow? For me, that doesn't make sense. Why choose that talent pool? Big, broad, open question, but there you go. That might be food for thought. We are coming up to about an hour, so I'll quickly run through you. So we'll go Paul, Brad, Jacob. If you want to say your final piece, what you're doing next, and we'll wrap it up after that. And it's full time at Everton, by the way. Everton 1, Tottenham 1. Paul.
Well, Friday I'm actually going to the game. Actually,
I'll keep an eye out on Sky for you, mate. If you wear a big curly wig or like a clown nose, and hold a sign up saying "This club is a joke," sometimes you will definitely be on telly.
Nah, I think the Southwest corner runs.
Oh, fair. So I'll keep an eye on you for every time we go out for a corner. So you're going to the game. Perfect. Brad?
I'm not going to the game, but after when we're finished on your stream, I'm doing my stream about 10:30.
Oh, perfect.
So,
There's a nice little channel, Fred. So for those of you that are watching back on demand, check out RWA. I'll leave them in the comments section or the video description. I don't know what it's called in the description, so check out that channel. If you've got the live stream link ready, mate, I'll pop that in there as well. So
I actually do, yeah.
perfect. Ping me that on Discord, and I'll put it in the description after this video.
No worries.
Perfect. Jacob, what are you doing next? What are you doing next? What's your final thoughts?
I'll probably be sharing it on social media, probably, the game. You know, like, on my story.
Yeah.
Something like that, but from that, no. I just hope we win, though, because I don't want to lose to fucking Hull City.
Fair enough. Well,
Should be beaten, man.
I will be doing the live stream on Friday for that whole game, so feel free to join in on the watch along if you want, Jacob, Brad. You will be able,
Yeah, no worries.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's on Sky and Now TV. I think there's a little bit of a restriction, but you can definitely hear it. And yeah, we can chat about the game live then on the watch along. I'm also
No bother.
summarising the last 4 weeks of games in the AFL Championship. The video is looking ridiculous. So the one I postponed a week ago is now looking like it's going to be about a half an hour video. So wish me luck on editing that absolute beast of a thing. And I'll do one for the Easter weekend. And yeah, catch you on the watch along. Acacia says, I'm at the game as well, so I'll probably spot me on Sky with Paul on Friday. Nice. Catch you then. For everybody else listening on demand, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.